Hey everyone, welcome to Hoka Nation. Today we're reacting to The Last of Us Part 2 inside the gameplay on PS4. I'm so excited and so stoked for this game. Let's get right into this.
Under here.
Wow.
What the gameplay needs to do is immerse you in the world, give you as many interesting actions to survive in this world and overcome obstacles. And obstacles could be infected, it could be other people, it could just be the environment, it could be rushing water.
Beautiful,
anything that could happen in this post-apocalyptic world.
That cinematic shot, I really like that.
But more than anything, it needs to put you in Ellie's shoes. That you're experiencing what Ellie's experiencing, making you feel what she feels. Because the more we do that, the more the emotional beats of the story work for us, and the more they work for us in this very unique way that only works in video games.
Just like in the first Last of Us. That's so cool.
The gameplay philosophy of The Last of Us Part 2 is putting you in the shoes of Ellie and everything that means. It means giving you a threat constantly,
stealth
as this world has.
She's got her bow.
It
That's
means
cool,
giving
you can
you
take
the
the
hard
bow out of the
choices.
person
Because this game takes place in such a hostile universe and our characters are pushed to do really difficult things. We want to put you in alignment with those choices. We want you to understand how hard certain decisions work for these characters, because they're hard for you.
Wow, that is visceral.
I would say
the level of detail here is very
impressive.
impressive.
How we approached
very
the
impressive.
game mechanically is how can we take things to the next level.
Right. Oh, we got a clicker. Headshot on the clicker.
Everything kind of comes out of the story.
I really love the mobility here
And
of Ellie and
how
the
do we
shot.
do it through systems? So one is you have to feel the pressure of survival.
Right.
Survive by the skin of my teeth. How do I use all these
That's
scrap
awesome.
around
Just like
me?
in the first Last of Us. I love that.
Any kind of bullet, any
The
kind
perk
of
upgrades,
frag, any kind
upgrading your
of bottle of
weapons.
alcohol.
I love that so much.
How do we give you that sense of being a survivor in this world?
Yes.
Ellie is very small compared to Joel and more nimble.
Right.
How do we make you feel like you're not the strongest person in the room, but you still should be able to rise to the challenge and survive, you know, a fight with a bunch of people that are all bigger than you?
Wow.
So therefore it meant
really shows
creating
you
a
the size
character
difference in
and
Ellie and, like,
systems
other
and mechanics
characters.
that allow you to be
That's
much
so
more
cool.
nimble.
And the fighting
And that's
mechanics.
where we added a jump button.
Ah, nice.
Deal.
In the first game we had a clamber button, but not really jumping. And here, Ellie can jump. The combat scenarios are much more vertical, where Ellie can use elevation to her advantage.
Prone is a huge one. Prone, obviously, it means to lay flat on the ground. Something so simple, again, something that in real life you'd be able to do.
It's so cool. I love
Letting
how you
the player
can
have
go
access to all their weapons, all the
go all the way to
items,
the ground in certain
crafting, everything
scenarios like
while
this,
in that
situations when you're
position.
going to have to in game.
And
I think
it
that's
just
really cool.
creates so many more emergent things in gameplay.
Now that we have this other state that the player could be in, which are very low to the ground, how else can we use this other than just hiding in vegetation? We're like, well, there's a lot of man-made things or
climb under trucks.
different structures
That's
that
so
collapsed
cool. You can use the
that allow
environment to
just
your
enough space
advantage.
for you to crawl under, and which means that now, as enemies are looking for you, you can crawl under things and hide. And it's just one more way to assess your environment and use it to Ellie's advantage. Now, because you can hide under things, we made them smarter and gave them the ability to look under things. So while you might hide somewhere and be safe for a while, eventually they're going to start looking under stuff. And if you're hiding under a truck and they spot you, they're going to yank you out.
So they're making the AI in game more smarter, more aware. I think this is very important. Wow, look at the details on that guy's face. It looks like a movie. It's beautiful.
Dodging is a big one, because now with dodge, anytime you're in a scuffle, you have a chance to get away.
Okay, so dodging now is very important
counterattack.
in game.
It lets escape be an option as well.
The gameplay
Sometimes you just gotta run.
It looks
And that is
amazing.
another part of this world, which
so
is
good.
sometimes the threat is so overpowering that you just have to get away.
Right.
When you
have to
are
adjust to
partially
certain
hidden,
scenarios
or you're
in the
like you're in
game.
grass, That means people from afar can't see you, but people from closer can kind of see you. They will eventually acquire you. You're not completely hidden when you're in grass.
She went into the grass.
That's awesome.
Watch yourself.
And it makes you as a player become much more aware of your surroundings.
Jump, prone, dodge, all these things feed into both exploration and
That was cool. You can,
combat.
again, you can throw bottles and
because
distract.
it lets us expand the
distract
space. If the size of spaces can be
the
bigger,
enemies in game.
the intricacy
I really
of spaces
like that.
can be more complex, and it still works exactly as you would expect.
Hey, there's that.
So when it came
that
to our
perk and
level
craft,
design,
your
we
weapons
really
and all
wanted to
that.
challenge ourselves to make a world that really felt like a real space as much as we possibly could and didn't feel like a series of combat encounters and exploration spaces and then combat encounters that felt like a
Oh, I
Hall of
love
Horrors
the
or
vertical
something.
bow and arrow.
But something that really felt like a
That's
space that
awesome.
you could explore that seemed like a legitimate
That's awesome.
urban environment.
You can slow things
And that pushed
down a
us to
bit,
make
just like
our
in the first
level
game. If you want to go
design,
stealth,
even more
if you
open
wanna go
than
right
it was
in
in the first
there and
game,
take
which
them
for
out.
us at the time was pretty open. In this game, we've gone so far in making the level design open that there are actually entire story moments,
Wow.
entire combat encounters, like full scripted sequences that you may completely miss.
that looks
And
so
there are
beautiful.
things that we feel like, even though a portion of our player base may never see these things, the fact that when you do encounter them, you feel like you discovered them. It lends
So
them
that leaves the door
this
for
charm
New
and this
Game
magic
Plus. If you
that I
miss
think is
something in
unique
the
to
first game,
games
you can
that
come back,
this
add
happened to me
replayability
because of
value
what I
to it.
did
I
and
think
what the
that's
place I
awesome.
explored too.
Makes the game innovative and unique. I really, really like that.
Crafting is very much about a payoff to exploration, meaning that when you enter new spaces,
just like in the
you want to
first
look
Last
around
of
for
Us.
supplies. You
Glad
want to
they're
open
bringing that
drawers,
back. That's
and
awesome.
cabinets, and look for different things that will allow you to craft
Makes the craft
either items that
makes
can
the
help you
crafting
heal,
simple-
items that can
system
help
a
you
little bit more
attack
simpler,
multiple enemies at once, such as the
just a little
Molotov,
bit, more cleaner.
or
in
the
a way.
landmine that Ellie can craft. Items that can help augment your weapons, like
Right.
a silencer for her pistol, or craft new kinds of ammo.
It also gives us tons of interesting gameplay choices and overlaps that you can do in any moment and on
That's
the fly.
awesome.
We try to be a game that
Distract
wants you
the
to make a
clicker
lot of
with
different
the
decisions in
bottle.
combat as possible.
And then
and the way that
Molotov.
we've expanded the recipe
Yes.
roster and all of the recipes and how they interact with each other is carefully chosen for
Wow.
the different ingredients and making sure that you always have
ga-
these interesting
gameplay
decisions to
elements,
make.
Man, they're amazing.
Put a much stronger emphasis on the importance of the choices you make in the long term for your character.
Would it be useful?
Through the weapon upgrade system, through the player upgrade system, there aren't enough resources in a single playthrough to fully upgrade your
That's
character.
awesome, just like the first Last of Us. So you can
The
go
choices
back
that you make,
and upgrade
you're
your
gonna have to
weapons
live
again.
with. And we wanted to make sure that all of the choices that you made had a really noticeable
Okay.
and tangible effect on the way that you play.
That's so cool. So you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to replay the game again to
You
upgrade
feel
more, just like
a
in the first
greater
game. I
kinship
really, really
with
like that.
Ellie because you are living with decisions that you've already made. Like you are continuing this through line of her journey
Wow.
through this world,
I'm
and
so
the
excited.
moment-to-moment gameplay
so excited.
is influenced by that in a way that we haven't
Brutal,
before.
man,
The
brutal.
realization that your choices have these long-term consequences is very much like the nature of the narrative of
That's
the
so
game,
important. That's
and I'm happy that the mechanics are supporting that.
incredible. June 19th, everyone. Wow, I am blown away, everyone. This, I thought, was an absolutely amazing gameplay presentation. We got a lot in here. Let's read the description below. Watch as the team at Naughty Dog goes in depth about the new and evolved gameplay experience of The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 launches on June 19th, 2020 for PlayStation 4. And wow, I'm a huge Last of Us fan of the original game. I love it so much. Probably my favorite video game of all time. And we got so much awesome stuff in here. I loved how they talked about the different gameplay systems, the narrative. We're going to actually just break it down right now. Love how Ellie can go. You can control Ellie and she can go into the grass prone, and you can hide in different scenarios, and you have to adapt to different situations in the game. I think this is very important for Ellie as a character, and as the gameplay evolves, as you continue to play the game. It's great that we got that the perk system back and the crafting system back, and that they're expanding and upgrading upon what we originally had in the original Last of Us, and they're kind of making it a bit more smoother and simpler. I really, really like that. And then the AI, they've upgraded. Looks like they've upgraded the AI on this game. They're more intelligent. They know when you've gone into the grass. They can point you out in certain situations, which I think is very important. Makes the game challenging, more realistic, and natural for the player. I think that's so cool. And then the fact that you can like hide under trucks and cars to take advantage of the environment. They talk about the openness of the world. They made the world much bigger for you to adapt to certain situations in game. They talked about dodging, which is super important now. You have to dodge in certain situations for Ellie and run away, know when to fight, and then know when to hide in certain areas. And I think that's awesome. So jumping and dodging is going to be very important. The world looks absolutely beautiful. The level of detail here is very, very impressive. Just like from the original Last of Us, the level of detail was out of this world, and it is still here, which is awesome. And then they talked about the choices in game, where when you go into the game and you do your first playthrough of the game, you may miss certain things in the game. So then hopefully they add a new game plus, so you can go back, which I'm sure they will, and you can go back and go visit the things that you missed in game, which I think is absolutely awesome. Adds replayability to it. And so going back to it, he says your character, the choices that you make, you're gonna have to live with, and we wanted to make sure that all of the choices that you made had a really noticeable and tangible effect on the way you play. I think that's very important, and again, it adds that replayability to it. I'm just so stoked, so excited for this game. Alright everyone, The Last of Us Part 2. I am so excited for this game. I'm so ready to play. As you can tell, I am a huge Last of Us fan. I platinumed the game, love it so much. Probably my favorite video game of all time. It is up there with my favorite video games of all time. And we're so close to The Last of Us Part 2. Stay tuned to Hoka Nation. We're going to be doing a full playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2 on the channel. And of course the Collector's Edition unboxing on the channel, which is going to be so fun and so exciting. And of course the comments will be completely disabled until the credits roll on my channel for The Last of Us Part 2. So yeah, I'm so excited for this game. Make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we're almost there, everyone. The Last of Us Part 2. Have an awesome day.